For years now, India has grappled with debilitating levels of pollution, with cities exceeding World Health Organization guidelines for the amount of PM 2.5 in the atmosphere by 500%. The country is home to 21 of the world's 30 most polluted cities, according to a 2019 report. On 25th March 2020, India shut down its borders and enforced the world's largest national lockdown to fight the coronavirus pandemic. And just a few weeks in, many across the country declared that this had caused a dramatic reduction in pollution levels and saw this as a silver lining of the pandemic. Our reporter Juhi Chaudhary spoke to Chandra Bhushan, an environment and climate change expert in New Delhi, who explains why this is not expected to last.
These are temporary changes. You remove people from environment and environment revives. It's a magic, but the magic happens, and we have seen how this magic has happened during the COVID period. But we have to convert this temporary improvement into a permanent feature. We had shut down industries, transport was stopped all across the country, economy was not working, and therefore your emissions were less, and you saw clean water and clean air. Pandemic has allowed us to do for the first time is to understand the base pollution level of India, not only of Delhi, but pan-India. We now understand what is the base pollution level in Bengaluru, for example, or for Mumbai, for example, in Mumbai and as well as Delhi. What comes out is that Delhi base pollution is about moderate. So this tells us that there is a significant source of natural pollution, natural dust pollution, which is impacting Delhi's air.
The COVID-19 pandemic is urging India to prioritize the understanding of the various sources of its environmental pollution and making sure that some of the better known culprits, like industries and vehicular traffic, are re-examined. Between 2011 and 2018, India saw a 136% increase in the number of grossly polluting industries, which have exacerbated environmental damages and climate change risks. Around the world, industrial pollution continues to be the biggest environmental risk to over 200 million people. The big question is whether the world will adopt more sustainable models of growth in the post-COVID-19 era.
What governments do after pandemic is to open the economy and increase the growth by any means as much as possible. And the easiest possible means available is exploitation of environment. Okay, whether you want to do more coal mining, you want to clear up forests for agricultural land. So exploitation of environment to quickly kickstart the economy seems to be the trend historically post-pandemic.
The pandemic has been a harsh reality check, exposing the errors of economic development models that have for so long treated the environment and biodiversity as externalities. Even the backbone of this development machinery, the workers, have been given very little support.
Our job situation is really bad. Our unemployment rate is above 25%. We haven't seen that post-independence. So this is really bad. We have more than 100 million people who are unemployed. So India's total employment strength is about 400 million people. And the data that is coming out is that about 100 million people are unemployed. That most of this unemployment is in urban poor. People who are serving the service sector, whether in restaurant or malls or cinema halls or transport sector, they are worst hit. With this such a stringent nationwide lockdown, we are certainly getting into recession, which will impact the lives and livelihoods of the poor especially. We have to build an economy which is resilient, which means that which takes care of the limitations of the nature, which takes care of the inequality in the society, which we are now witnessing right now. The invisible has become visible. The millions of migrants moving on the road in India were always invisible. They have become visible now. The inequality in the society has become stark.
The extent and final outcome of the COVID-19 pandemic is still unknown. But this crisis will be a decisive moment for the world that will not just test our health infrastructure, but also if the world can actually address its chronic environmental and socio-economic issues through adaptive and resilient development models.
COVID is not going to be the first, is not the first, and it's not going to be the last pandemic. Climate change is going to hit us very, very hard if we don't reduce our emissions and adapt to the changing climate. And so will happen with respect to water and biodiversity. So the business as usual is no more an option for us. We will have to work towards a green economy. And we can only work towards a green economy if every individual understands that consumption has a direct linkage to environment. We have to think about opening the economy completely. We have to think about what kind of economic structure we want in the future, which is much more resilient. COVID has shown that across the world, the economic structure is not resilient. It affects the poor the most. So we have to develop a resilient economic structure. And we also have to think about climate change and other environmental issues. COVID does show that tinkering with nature has its costs. And if we do not deal with environmental issue, we are likely to fall into this trap of more environmental implications.